Hi, I'm Chris Steyerwalt, and it's time for Power Play. And Internet, you know something. You know that, in fact, we've been trying out, I think with some success, our Fox News First 2016 Power Index. We've already had one big shakeup when we had a lead change in just the first week when Mitt Romney dropped out. But I thought it might be good to get somebody from real television to check our work and make sure that we were doing well. So it is our great good fortune that Bret Baier, the anchor of Special Report, with the aptly named Special Report with Bret Baier, has agreed to join us and review a little bit of our work.
I read it.
Okay, well, that's good. See, there you go. That's one. Actually, many tens of thousands of you, but whatever, and we're very grateful to all of you. The question is this. Jeb Bush is the front runner, but I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have predicted 6 months ago that Scott Walker would have gained so much so fast.
It's pretty remarkable if you look at where Walker was, where he is now, based on, for the most part, one Iowa speech, some TV, did an interview with us as well. But I think there is this sense of trying to find anybody but, sort of like we heard and saw at the beginning of the last election. Anybody but Mitt Romney was the last every few months. There is an anti-Jeb Bush contingent out there, and Scott Walker clearly fits into the anybody but.
And Jeb Bush gave a speech at the Detroit Athletic Club, or the Detroit Economic Club last week.
It was athletic.
It was athletic. He was very agile, well, actually. But he gave a speech at the Detroit Economic Club, and he was not exactly playing to the Republican base. He was laying out an image that was sort of close to the compassionate conservatism of his brother, close to the more moderate flavor of Republican conservatism of his dad. What's the thinking behind a speech like that?
Well, listen, I mean, on paper, it read pretty well.
Yeah.
I think in delivery, it fell, judging by the crowd and judging by people who have looked at it, a little bit flat.
It was flat.
That there may have to be some revving up of the presentation for Jeb Bush if he's going to seal the deal with even establishment folks. I mean, that's the thing about Walker, is that he has presented himself very well, and he's presented himself as an attractive alternative to what likely will be the most money getting Jeb Bush.
Now, for Jeb Bush, with Mitt Romney out of the race, the good news is he can raise more money. With Mitt Romney out of the race, the bad news is he's got to really beat expectations. He's got to come in with big numbers, and here we're talking about Mitt Romney raised $80 million for the first quarter, and that's what we're really measuring here is to the end of March. So for Jeb Bush, as he's putting his campaign team together, he's hiring people, he's building out, he's doing all of this stuff. At what point does message really start to matter? Or is it really about infrastructure and cash now?
Until we get to March, I mean, it's about lining up the horses, lining up the donors, and the money. But the messaging factors into that, I think. I think that first time we see the FEC reports, I think it's going to be a big deal for all these campaigns. But I don't think that it's a done deal even early, because you have all of these things to get through, and he's got challenges on issues. Education, Common Core, immigration. We talk about it all the time, but those are two things that his party is not on board with him yet.
Now, as far as Walker, there's a blank slate thing that happens for a guy who's not well known. Scott Walker, remember, 65% of people in a CBS News poll said that the 65% of Republicans said they didn't know enough about Scott Walker to form an opinion. That was just a month ago. Now he's rising, and nipping at the heels of the front runner. Scrutiny is going to come with that, right? People are going to be when you talk to Walker, were you able to sense in him that he was ready to take the new level of scrutiny and pressure?
I think so. I mean, he's pretty polished with some of his answers. Now, he doesn't answer completely when you really press him on some things.
A politician?
Saying,
what?
No, but I mean, he's effectively not answering
it.
Yes,
that's right.
Even though you press. And so when it comes to foreign policy, I mean, he's got some, obviously, some holes there. And some of the answers are incomplete, but they are polished. And he is clearly in the presenting mode. There are others who will challenge, but I would say right now, if you looked at it right now, Jeb Bush and Scott Walker are poised to go head-to-head in this contest.
All right, Brett Barron, he knows things. That's why he has a television show that airs from this very studio, 6 p.m. Eastern, each and every weeknight. He's your friendly neighborhood anchorman. Thanks, Brett.
All right.
And you, Internet, thank you for stopping by. We're glad you found a minute. We hope you come back for another installment of Power Play real soon.